Disney's Jollywood Nights event at Hollywood Studios was an absolute disaster. And we're here to break down some of the reasons why it was a disaster and why this indicates the direction and the future of Walt Disney Parks if nothing is done in the courtroom or boardroom to change the direction of Disney. Of course, I am Andrew Esquire, American attorney living over here in Asia. And of course, this is the Legal Mindset where we teach you to be your own judge. Now, let's get started with Jollywood Nights. What is this? Well, it's a Christmas event, right? And this is a Christmas-focused event, really geared and marketed towards adults, particularly Disney adults. Now we know, after being a while on this channel, that Disney adults are really one of the prime markets for Disney. And we can argue about whether that's a wise marketing strategy or not, whether that's something that is smart or not. And perhaps that's a future stream. But what we have to say here is this is an adult-oriented event. So we have to think about it from a different character and standard. This is not something where you have kids that are running around. So you can sometimes deal with a lower quality event because kids don't really care. They're happy with kind of the mediocre hot dog and the stale popcorn. They're just happy to have fun and see the rides and kind of be there. The standards can be a little bit lower when it comes to an event that is geared towards children because, hey, some things you can take a pass on, but it's an adult event. And therefore, people are expecting something like food and wine, something that, is geared towards an audience of folks that might want to try different delicious food, delicious drinks. They might want to go to some events, see some good shows, do things that are different, that are awesome, that are unique, that they can Instagram about, that they can talk about, that influencers, all these influencers, right? Because if you have a phone and you can record, you are an influencer, a Disney influencer.
Let's get dressed. Today, we're looking at the most iconic friend group, Disney's Mickey and Friends. And the character most like me is Minnie Mouse. And
just walking around in the park, congratulations, you're an influencer. So these folks are the prime market. So what are these folks looking for? Well, I think, to me, if I was one of these Disney adults, I'm not, but I have been to Disney a lot as an adult. So I can say some things I know that these folks would be interested in. Stuff like good food. Now, was there good food there at the Jollywood Nights events? Well, no, there was not. There was a Gertie cookie, a dinosaur cookie, which I believe they were claiming was one of the first original characters after Figment or whatever at the parks. Okay, sure, whatever. But the cookie tastes like sawdust. And listen, if I'm going to eat sawdust, I'm not going to wait 30 minutes to an hour in line for it and pay an obscene price. It's just not happening. And then you had the Brown Derby and reports of the Brown Derby, which, look, I've been to the Brown Derby in the past. I've had good meals there. I've had mediocre meals there. I think it's okay. I'm not trying to trash on the Brown Derby in general, but during this event, it seemed like the queue for it was crazy. The wait was long. The online reservation system was buggy and glitchy. So you could have a group of people all standing together on their phones, kind of refreshing. And, you have a group of 6 people. One of them gets it and 5 of them don't, or, 2 of them get it and 4 of them don't. I mean, the system is absolute chaos. And then once you got in, I heard that they were just taking forever on the food. Some of the food orders were messed up, undercooked. There was no kind of Christmas special feeling to the food, nor the decor, other than a band, a piano player, which was in there, playing piano, a little bit of garland around the piano. But other than that, was mostly standard. In fact, Christmas songs were light. I heard the ratio was 1-5 or 1-6 in the Christmas songs. You'd expect at a Christmas event, you'd be playing more Christmas songs, not, things like "You're Welcome" at the events. But of course, that's Disney. Then you had just the general for the rides, for any of the shows, the general long lines. These are lines that, people are not just queuing an hour for a cookie. They're queuing maybe over an hour, maybe 2 hours for a ride.
Magic Kingdom to say.
Okay. Get out of the way.
Connor, leave her alone.
Right? Which is absolutely ridiculous to have to wait that long to get on a ride at a limited admission event, at an adult only event. And by the way, did I mention, and I'm reticent to mention the price. This is something that as an adult, I think people will be considering the price. This was a event built at $179. Now let's put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to that, but that is a significant amount of money. That is not a cheap event. It's not an under $100 event. It's not a cheap add-on for 20, 30, 40 bucks. This is a significant investment. It's $179 per person. So it's an adult event. You're going to come with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friends, whatever else. You know, people are going to end up paying a lot for this. I can see a group easily paying close to $1,000 if you've got a group of, you know, friends that are going for this event. It's a significant investment to come there. So they're expecting some bang for that buck. They're expecting Disney to return on their investment. Well, when they go to the top build event, which is the Twilight Soiree, which was supposed to be at the Tower of Terror. Look, I love the Tower of Terror growing up. I love the aesthetic for it. I love that vibe. I love that kind of 20s, 30s vibe. I think it's great. I think I like speakeasies. You know, I like cocktail bars. So they were pitching it with this kind of speakeasy cocktail bar sort of feel, but it felt like a cheap food and wine cart that was not even up to food and wine standards. In fact, the drinks, which were all shown in the pictures as looking like a cocktail lounge, like in a rocks glass, you know, like with ice and everything else, with a very beautiful garnish. These were all pre-mixed and poured into plastic cups. This was not something classy. This was something that was mass produced. This was something that was very, very very standardized and not customized. It was not something that was done with love, right? They could have easily hired bartenders that could have made these drinks, that could have made cocktails and made it a really nice event. But instead it felt really cheap and manufactured, which is not what you'd expect from one of the top build items, particularly under that vibe, under that speakeasy vibe, that Twilight Soiree. Certainly, look, I've been to Florida. I don't expect everybody to do a dapper day and go in a full suit to Disney and be there dancing in a suit at Tower of Terror. I get it, right? It's hot in Disney. If you're in a suit, you're going to be sweating within 2 minutes. But at the same time, if the aesthetic you're trying to create is a nicer upscale aesthetic, you could provide for that. And Disney chose not to. That's Disney management choosing not to. It's nothing about the cast members. It's nothing about the visitors or the influencers. You cannot blame anybody but Disney management for that. There also were significant periods of time where there was nobody up there singing, nobody up there performing. So people are just dawdling around, you know, the staff and the cast members are trying to create lines, trying to get things organized, but really it's all chickens with their heads cut off and nobody knew what they were doing. And the last thing I can say about this event was the rain. So on the initial day, the opening day, there was actually pretty significant rain, and it's Florida, right? I mean, I'm currently in Thailand, but I lived in Florida for much of my life. Rain is something to be expected in Florida. It happens very routinely, very predictably. So the fact that Disney wouldn't be able to predict for that is, to me, something that is outstandingly stupid. It's outstandingly ridiculous. So because of that, because of all these things, Jollywood was a failure. It shows they're not investing in these events. They're just trying to do a cash grab. They're trying to rip people off of their money. And why do I say that? Well, if you turn over to Universal, Universal is providing fantastic Christmas entertainment events, fantastic stuff in Hogwarts, and they're doing it absolutely for free. Now, you can buy stuff like a tour or a special dinner, but the prices are much more reasonable. If you look at the prices in Universal, they're much lower for a tour, for example, than at Disney. They're really being able to take that win by going above and beyond for free, right, without having to upcharge, which is, I think, why they're going to take the W in the long run. And for me, when I look at these premium events that Disney is doing, the only ones they are doing that have any character or standard are over in Asia. They're in Hong Kong. They're in Shanghai. They are not in the United States. They are showing they do not care about Orlando, right? They do not care about Walt Disney World. And that's why Universal Studios is going to lap them. They're going to lap them with Epic Universe. They're going to lap them with their events. And you see this going into the future. What do you guys think? I want to know in the comments below if you guys went to Jollywood, let me know. Or would you ever go to Jollywood? What did you hear about it? What did you think about it? And are there any Christmas events you are going to go to, whether they're at theme parks or elsewise? Let me know in the comments below. And if you also drop that like, I would highly appreciate it. And I will catch you all on the next one.